and then got told that those dudes in the park that you decided to not go to the very obvious ambush had basically they surrounded them and were waiting to do something. Are y'all hopping in the Roll20?
Yep.
Let me get some. What is this? What is adventure meme? No. Here we go. This fits better. Also, I know I keep saying this, but Jared actually sent me the guide on how to do it. I'm probably going to migrate from Roll20 because I'm tired of having to delete maps every time I want to add a new one. And I'd rather just pay the, like, $2 a month to Oracle to be able to fucking use Hero Foundry. Or not Hero Foundry, Tabletop Foundry. Foundry. Well, because it's based off of fucking GM Forge, if you remember back when we used that.
Mm-hmm.
Which was... I thought was a pretty good system until the dev abandoned it. Because that's how we ran our entire previous campaign after, like, the 3rd session. Oh, let me mute my phone real quick. I don't feel like hearing fucking Tim Curry yell space every 5 minutes. Yeah, sorry, that phone call was about potentially buying a house. Because there was a place not too far from here that went up for sale and was listed at 200K, but it was like 2,000 square feet and in a very nice part of town. And it turns out that the people selling it listed it for that, but it's actually an auction starting at 200K. And I was like, oh, that's a fucking douchebag move. Because nowhere on it did it say that it was an auction.
You got memed.
All right, everyone in?
Yep.
Yo. So, like I said, last time we left off, you guys had... I don't think there was any combat last session other than Ryan getting poorly interrogated. Gotta love government contractors. Yeah, you guys just went shopping and got told that tomorrow was when you guys were gonna head out with Verthmore and go escort him to the plague-ridden tribe. My old notes got deleted, so I'm trying to go off memory. Is there anything I'm missing that y'all can remember?
Seems about right to me.
I know... I don't think y'all even bought much. You just got some shit from Schmitty. Where's my... Hold up. I'm being disorganized. I need to find my pen. I have a single pen left at home. Here it is. For my notebook. There you go. So, I believe you guys, when we left off, you were about to go with Ty to the, to go see what was going on in the local nature reserve. Because that's where my notes end. Or what's left of them, because what I have handwritten is not what I type up usually. So everyone's ready. We can actually start without doing 20 minutes of me setting up for once.
I'll conjure up the phantom ship. Rowboat, more like yeah, no.
Is it the Hote or the Bourse? I need to, like, get art of this. I assume that this is going to be the running shtick for a while. I will find an artist.
In some countries, it's the Hote. In some countries, it's the Bourse.
Oh yeah, didn't I become a doomsayer last time?
What?
Oh, I remember you had additional visions.
Oh,
that you got.
Yeah. You were having some fun visions of a battle and a lot of stuff that was confusing you.
Tyrania's coming, folks.
Don't you love war?
I love war. You know what? War. It's kind of what I built my character.
You are a war mage. As Meejo finishes conjuring up the Bourse, you notice that Atticus is already back to swigging a little bit of mead, and he's like, "You guys can go on ahead. I'm gonna relax here for the night."
All right. I'll be captain in this vessel.
Is everyone hopping on the bourse?
All aboard.
Yeah.
So galloping, you begin your gallop down the cobblestones. The sun begins its afternoon descent. The district at large seems much the same as before. Wait, yes, this is the right one. The corners you pass gleefully... Fuck, my handwriting's awful. Bear with me on this. Usually I type these up. I have...
It's really weird that these corners are gleefully fucking each other.
No, the criers...
Starts need to do something about this.
No!
Fucking corners, you
No!
say.
No!
They're getting a bit sensual on the floor,
No.
and I'm supposed to be the bard.
Sorry, my bad. The criers you pass by
Isn't
gleefully
this
recount
world
the
wonderful?
previous night's arsonists have been found and await trial, with one already dead at the scene. Heading closer to the district park, you see a small contingent... Hold up, let me actually move the map over to the proper one. Where's Hiltolia? There it is. So, just so we're all aware, that's where the park is.
Yay.
You see a small contingent of human guards milling about on their way away from the park, and auspiciously towards the square, and one seems to already be eyeballing the tavern. One man with his left arm emblazoned with scars waves and yells, "Oi, it's Toys Lot! We're off to the pub, wanna join?"
No, we got some business inside the park itself. Speaking of, you seen anything?
Yeah, well, we were just on our night watch, and then all of a sudden, these rather rude lizards just told us that the military was taking over, and had a real official piece of paper. You see, you know, I kind of can't read their little language. I don't tell them that. They think I can.
Oh, I can.
And so we cleared off.
Well, all right.
But we're going to the pub if you want to join, but they said something about watching the fireworks if we were interested.
What?
Fireworks?
We don't know. They seem really mean, so we left. And Merrick over there said we should leave immediately. And as he says this, he says that, he points to like this giant of a dude behind them who looks like he's well into his 40s with his only weapon is one scimitar on his left hip, and you can see just various scars up and down his right arm.
We should probably get in there sooner rather than later. Fireworks don't sound good considering what we've been seeing.
I think they just subtly implied they're gonna bomb the place.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, I don't think they would bomb their own park. Like I think that place is like religious or something. We're not too sure.
Joe looks over at Meejo with like that. He makes a face at Meejo as soon as he says religious.
Well, if you guys are not going to join us, we're gonna go have a rum time at the pub. You're always welcome to come join.
Noted. Thank you for the offer.
Anytime. Hyena Man?
Akir.
Akir. Oh. Oh yeah, you guys are probably more than fine to go over there. Never mind. Goodbye. And he starts walking off very quickly.
Well, they're going to the pub. Sure hope they don't get him subordination charges.
With this, the other three guards seem to enthusiastically return to their mission. The acquisition of inebriation. It's only a short walk down the same road that you were already on until the Temple of Our Fair Lands, which is this large temple here, comes into view. Deep over the horizon, and even shorter for the roadside to suddenly be littered with trees and shrubberies. During your walk, you notice there's not a single other person. Its vacancy in any other context would have been serene. The only sound filling the air besides your steps is the gentle swaying of branches. Let me go ahead and swap over from this fucking meme music. But the only sound filling the air besides your steps is the gentle swaying of branches in the wind. The subtle wafting fragrance of the wetlands almost fills the void brought on by the solitude. On the horizon, you soon seem to see a lone tent planted at the roadside. It takes quite some time to really see what it is, as it's this disgusting, muddy olive. But walking closer, you notice there's two figures wearing a similarly colored tabard to the tent, standing right outside in front of it. You notice the one much quicker, a cobra man whose stature is easily apparent even at a distance, as he unfolds his arm and begins a slow, purposeful walk towards you, each foot in lockstep with its opposing arm, his stance slightly hunched over, as if to look Akir directly in his eyes. His partner, some lizard folk no taller than Meejo, doesn't move. He merely switches from a leaning, relaxed posture to pulling his hand out of his pockets and placing one gently on the hilt of his sword. The Cobra Man barks. By the order of Chief Quetzal, the park is closed and assumed to be in use by foreign actors against His Holiness. What is your business here?
Joe, I think you might want to take this one over.
I don't remember what our business is for this park, actually.
You guys interrogated a smuggler, and he originally told you to come to the park, and then after you cursed him, he told you about the guy near the ambassador's district who then committed self-kaboom.
We're here to investigate what a smuggler has told us about the current ongoings, including involving that guy who blew himself up in the residential district, or whatever that district was again.
Oh, well, all guards at this station have been relieved. Fuck it. Everyone inside of the park who is connected to this has been ordered to be executed.
Oh, there's probably evidence left over.
Oh, there will be. But we have good suspicion to believe that these are actors for Pyrania, and a bet not the life of your enemy.
First, I have weird visions. Then there is actors of Pyrania. This is not looking good.
Weird visions?
Oh, no, don't worry about it.
Okay. You must be a Flint, correct? Some kind of paladin?
Yes. I'm surprised you know that, friend.
Part of my job is cultural understanding. Do you know
you've
how
done
hard
an
it is?
excellent job.
You do not understand how awful that desert is for the scales. I cannot allow you to pass further into the park. However, if you'd like to stay and watch the fireworks, you're more than welcome to.
What are these fireworks? Is it the executions?
Yes. We are not at liberty to say how or why or what. We are to guard this door, well, this road, and the scouts are currently guarding every other possible entrance, and the forest. Everyone inside has been given a warning that they can peacefully resign themselves to our custody, or be forcefully put in it.
It's not that great, but can I try to insight this?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll give it a try. This is just a 10.
He's talking around, but it's very clear that this is bad for whoever's inside of there.
Well, I mean, we're relatively trusted and involved in this whole scheme. Just having us around as extra hands should something go wrong.
I mean, it sounds like you're saying that they are resisting, yes?
Yes. Passively.
Hmm.
You are more than within the bounds of the law to be outside of the cordon and wait and observe, but you cannot pass beyond us.
Can I?
And why is that?
Because we cannot
Can
have
I
any...
Can I tap into my connection to Strudel?
Yes.
And say, I guess I'll get a nap before it happens, and like tap into his vision as he like flies in, as he gets a better view of the situation inside.
What you see is a winding, twisting network of trails that all lead to this central... It almost looks like a fountain from the edges because it's got this massive stone plateau it's sitting on, but it's actually a small observation area of a much larger swamp that connects all the way out to the bay. And atop the observation area are 6 men who seem very agitated. Two of them are pacing back and forth. One of them is polishing a sword. And they all seem to be very on edge, but waiting for something.
Looks like the execution's set up proper.
And as Strudel's flying around, you notice groups of chameleon men hiding atop the trees, all of them perched with bows drawn and aimed directly at the group of men.
Like, snap out of that. Oh no. Whisper over to Joe and Akira. Just saw through Strudel's eyes. The chameleons are. And I mean, they got it set up.
The what now?
Ready for it. Chameleon folk. They're
The hell is a chameleon?
lizard folk up in the trees, waiting with the bows. Men just sitting around there.
So it is not a passive resistance.
It seems like they've got them. I don't know. It doesn't feel like a formal execution. It feels like a sneak attack.
Joe,
Yeah,
idea.
I'm listening.
What if you try to sweet talk our friend here and say, hey, if you need any help, you can come to us.
All right, I'm down. Immediately turn to the guy. I'm like, hey, if you need any help, you can come to us.
Do you...
We're friends, right?
We have a good reputation now, a good standing even. You know of our work so far. I feel like we'd be of great interest in assisting you guys.
If we were guards, yes. This is no longer a civic matter. We have reason to believe on good suspicion that these are foreign actors, potentially spies, potentially saboteurs. I am not employed for conversation. We are guarding this road.
Who's your employer again?
The chief.
I think that would be the king
chief
of
of
this
guards?
entire place.
The chief of our tribe.
Of the guards?
Joe, I'm pretty sure he's talking about the king.
He just runs his hand along his hood, the hood of his head, and he's. I knew humans were short-lived, but I didn't know they were this dumb. He walks back to the tent and walks out with a spear that he plants in the ground directly next to the tent. And he says, "This line, none shall cross it.
All right, you said none shall cross that line, right?
Do not."
Your command is your wish.
I don't think that's the line.
It's close enough.
Uh,
All right, we promise we won't cross that line.
do not cross into the park.
We're not gonna cross into the park. There's probably like assassins or bandits or something that already crossed in there.
He looks over at the other sentry, who shrugs and then holds up 2 fingers. And he goes, "Just 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes, and then I can go home."
Oh dear.
Joe looked at the rest of the party. Like, all right, we got 2 minutes. After 2 minutes pass, we can try sweet talking the next guy.
Well, remind me, why we be here again?
Sure, there's no funny business regarding terrorists.
Well, I'm sure the guards have it all under control.
Weren't we
whatever these
supposed to
guys
help
are.
somebody with their expedition, though?
Yes. But as you're debating if it was even worth coming here, where is it? Now we use this one. Cool. So, as you're sitting there debating the finer points of why you're even here, you're not left in the dark as to what the plan was for very long. When the sun briefly meanders over the road, you feel a sudden electrification in the air, as if every partial inch of you is suddenly filled with a maelstrom of unearthly power. The feeling jolts past, leaving as suddenly as it came. In its wake, a wispy blue aura hangs off the surroundings, every visible piece of matter leaving blue ghosts for moments after, but seemingly going away within an instant. Even shadows seem to double or triple over. The act of breathing becomes a manual task, as if your lungs are simultaneously empty and full. The roadside grass seems to simultaneously wisp and defiantly remain stagnantly stationary. The feeling passes both instantly and eternally. You barely have the span of a single panicked breath before the horizon is dotted with 2 sudden balls of light. Just as the winds carry the loud explosions, they also carry the sounds, screams, and you're even sure you hear some sobbing, and then more sickening explosions. 6 times these ring out, and 12 explosions dot the horizon. At this point, the Cobra Man turns to you and goes, "You are not required to aid in our cleanup. Your service was meant to be a mercy, but they did not wish mercy."
What?
That shit. Did it happen from within the garden, or?
Yes, it was all within the garden.
Okay.
Did we just see the equivalent of someone getting, like, bug zapped on the fucking horizon?
The other sentry starts to laugh, and he goes, "I cannot believe something so ridiculous worked." Oh, someone needs to
lean
give
over
the
to
chief
Meejo.
a medal for that one.
Like, hey, Meejo, how's Strudel?
Yeah. How is Drew?
Are you gonna look through his eyes again?
I've got a. Well, I mean, we can maintain a telepathic communication between each other. Is he like flashbang ringing right now?
He's circling above the big opening that's kind of a little observation area, and you see several smoking craters in the ground, similar to what happened when you tried to restrain that guy in the ambassador's district. And you see two people laying nearby, covered in burns. And a small team going to grab anyone who's still alive and immediately tying them up and hauling them away.
Looks like the deed's done. They definitely had those bombs in them.
The hell just happened?
They blew themselves up again.
So that is an explosion.
Yep, that's what happened over at that one district.
Right, the one I wasn't there for.
Yes.
So, with that taken care of, I assume you guys just want to go back and rest and compartmentalize that.
Yeah, I'd be down.
Yeah.
I would bring folks to do that themselves. Are they even willing in this?
Yeah, probably the blue moon.
So if humans are generally associated with Pyrania, does that mean every human in the city is going to be watched?
I don't know. Probably. Odds are they're gonna round up all the humans and put them in like a camp or something.
Yo,
Yeah,
Ugh.
aren't you a human?
arguably.
What do you mean by arguably?
That's not that important.
Well,
As
I'm
long as
curious.
it's close enough.
So as you are all walking back into the hideout, I guess at this point it wouldn't be a hideout, it'd be your guys' home. Thomas is sitting at the table and he looks up and goes, "So, any of you happen to know what that sudden thing that we all just felt was?"
Well, that was the rattlings in the ground, what caused by all the terrorists that the guard rounded up and, well, let burst inside the park from a safe distance, it seems like.
He sets down his cup of water and he goes, They exploded?"
Yeah, just like the one in the residential district. They got him from a safe distance. You could probably check back on the craters.
That's odd. So this has happened before?
Apparently.
Well, I mean, like I said, this one was more controlled, but the first one that was in the residential district, and you know.
Yeah, that we heard that some ambassador's servant's house burned down. This is very interesting.
Ambassadors, sure.
The area outside of the ambassador's district is often where the servants live. Someone probably just got unlucky.
More flames day by day. Visions by night. Well, I hate to say it, but things are not looking good.
And there's that plague happening. Speaking of which, Verthmore came by and said that he would be here when dawn breaks, and he would be ready to depart as soon as everyone else was.
I see.
I need to rest a bit, make sure I'm full capacity.
It sounds
So have
like
you ever
all
thought
may
of
need some rest.
preparing for a war?
Tom looks up and he just goes, "Why?"
Well, we have a plague, we have fires happening day by day, specifically tied to Pyrania.
I mean, that
Prophetic visions of a war with Pyrania between this place and them.
big rumbles in the
He slams his fist on the table and stands up. "What do you mean there's... Step back for a second. Prophetic visions of a war with them?"
You not remember the vision I told you of yesterday, or is this the same guy?
No,
or
you
did I
told
say
Sam.
Sam?
You told Sam.
Oh, my bad. I told Sam.
This is bad. This is so bad.
Yeah, I believe that a war is coming and we're all about to be involved.
Who was dead in your vision?
And from what I could tell, nobody. However, what is his name? The young boy.
Sam. Josh? There's not been too many... Everyone's out on missions right now, so there's not too many people here to,
Who's the guy who was the youngest with the... You know what I'm talking about, the guy who appeared in my vision. The young lad.
Josh.
Josh. Josh actually was in my vision. He was fighting pretty hard. I sent men to make sure he came out alive.
Were there women involved?
There was a lady, a dark elf. Nethri, I think? Something like that.
The dark elf and the tavern wench in Rockton?
I never met her. But I seem to knew her in my dream. I killed some woman in fine clothes. I believe something to do with a navel. And a strange sword. Before opening the gates, and that's where my vision ended.
Interesting. We'll...
There was also a lizard man who nearly died and lost his arm. And they were using gunpowder and bombs.
Fuck. Okay.
So whoever's been bringing gunpowder to this continent has been probably being taken advantage of or raided.
There's no gunpowder reserves near Pyrania, which means someone's selling to them. Which would also be concerning with all the explosions here. Something... Well, hopefully, our raid on those pirates answers some questions, which we do still have 20 days until, and I'm going to go make sure to pick up.
Oh yeah, I think that has something to do with my vision, was the raid on the pirates.
Hopefully, that's what you were seeing, and not an all-out war with Pyrania.
Well, no, it was supposed to be a raid, but ended up being a siege.
This is horrifying.
The funny thing is, I was asked to lead and scale the walls as one of the first people to do so, even though I'm used to defending the walls.
And we're not the... What? This is bad. Okay. He's looking... He seems to be looking everywhere but, up.
I mean, to say it bluntly, war is coming. And whether my visions hold true or not, that's a matter entirely. Because if so, at the end of it, or at some point in it, I'm going to die. Along with these two.
That's fantastic.
Actually, I believe that one was a shared vision. We had something different all at the same time.
Sam said something similar when he came to the city, but well, I'm going to go enjoy today and do a little bit of training because there's a good chance that I'm going to have to swim a good bit during this siege. Raid. It's a raid. We're really hoping this is a raid. I do not want to siege pirates this month.
Well, it was less pirates and more Pyranian soldiers.
I don't want to do a siege on pirates this month. The last time me and Sam did a siege was long enough ago that I can fondly look back. I will see all of you. He before he walks out, he looks over. He picks up a piece of paper on the table and unscrolls the parchment and goes, I'll be back in 2 weeks.
Do make sure to tell the rest of them, the train.
Something tells me they might not believe this.
Can't help to be prepared, though.
Have fun on all of your work. He like meekly waves as he walks out the garden door.
So, as for you two, I look at Joe and Meejo. We should probably do some training ourselves. I can't help to be prepared for whatever comes next.
Yeah. Maybe.
I mean, you know, you doubted me at first, but lightning doesn't normally strike twice.
You're right about that.
No, naturally.
Hopefully we'll be prepared by this time, and my vision of us dying doesn't come true. Something didn't seem right about it in the first place.
So as you all rest, obviously long rest, full health, get all your spells back.
Was I missing anything? I don't remember
I don't
if I was
think
missing
so.
anything. No.
As you all wake up the next day and enjoy the relative peace, and you push open the garden door, you've noticed the familiar ascetic figure sitting once again, just staring at the leaves and muttering something to himself. His pure white robe, as usual, is marred by the half-moon patch. He doesn't seem to notice you at first, as he's just too busy contemplating the various flowers in the garden.
I don't like that guy, Meejo.
What'd you say?
Thumbs off. I don't really like that guy, Meejo.
Yeah, I mean, he's our client, isn't he?
I still don't trust this job.
Well, if he does happen to backstab us, he will find out how miserably he failed, and we will kill him.
You said we got a full rest.
Yes. As you're all talking in the doorway, he eventually does turn to look at some of the bright blue fey plants near the doorway, and he goes, "Oh! Good morning, friends. I hope you're ready to depart soon. And once again, thank you for the escort. I'm aware that the pay is not the best, but hopefully the good we'll do will outweigh the lighter wallet."
Renown is important.
I'm ready to head out as long as you all are.
Would you like to join the boat crew?
Oh, yes, boat. Speaking of that, we're going to be traveling through some rather deep waters, but we're not heading far enough that it seemed worth the expense to charter a ferry, so I looked through some local connections, and I instead got us a small rowboat.
We'll take a boat to get there and a boat to get there.
Well,
A boat and a boat.
I only need you to escort me to the encampment near the poor tribe. Anything else is of your own volition. But I also know that in 2 days' time, I spoke to the proprietor of the archaeology guild. He said that you were assisting in a dig here soon?
Yes, we are.
I'm always glad to see the young giving back and showing healthy interest in our history.
Your history, my history, everybody's history is fascinating to me.
I meant the history of our world, not specifically human or Nullish or... He looks down at Meejo a couple of times. His mouth starting to form a word and then stopping.
Genasi,
World history. Genasi?
Technically.
Ah. You are quite the interesting little group. I would ponder more questions, but this plague seems to be quite the issue for these people. People are beginning to say that it is a portent of doom.
Any finer details on that one?
The reports seem to be scattered. If you'll walk with me, I can fill you in as we...
Meejo, boat him.
Boat?
I boat him.
He as the Hote appears, he he looks both confused and impressed. And he goes, oh. Are we all gonna fit in this?
Yes.
Okay. But, he pulls out a small notebook as you all begin galloping towards the docks. And he says, well, you see, there's a few different things this could be. Some of my contemporaries seem to believe it is a divine disease, and if that's the case, it may be Malkiath's spite, which should not be present in this region. And I'm hoping to find evidence it is not.
What other divine diseases could it be, if there are any?
For something that covers the skin in bubons, you've got the Negarious Plague, which is thought to be a divine disease, but it's quite, it appears in nature on its own, it seems. It may have been used by gods as a punishment in the past, but not of divine origin. It seems to have been something easy to spread. It's a rapidly contractable disease. Contact with the blood or saliva seems to be what, or miasma. Many people believe it is a form of miasma as well.
What are the chances this disease may have been conjured?
That would be Malkiath's spite, and it's only conjured when someone offends the dead god. It is not something that is it is reserved for those who have betrayed him.
Could it maybe perhaps be an echo curse of a dead god? After all, isn't the ruler the one who slew him?
Yes, perhaps, but this would be the first we've seen of it, and this would mean that
What are the chances another god could use it as a curse?
None.
What about a person using it as a curse?
None. The disease of Malkiath, it works by removing the lifespan of a person. They quite literally bleed their lifespan.
What if it's something similar?
Like a lich.
Like a copy?
It would take a very, very powerful one. Perhaps. There will be evidence of this at the village.
Well,
Many are
we did
too
come
afraid to
across
even enter.
undead creatures before.
Yes, this is why I originally volunteered. As you get to the docks, he begins to steer you down multiple back alleys, where eventually there is a single person standing at the edge, like the very far edge of a branch of the dock, with what appears to be an oversized kayak, painted in various tribal markings. The human regards you and waves and goes, "Oh, Verthmore! I thought I'd have about another 10 minutes before you took this thing. And these must be mercenaries?
Bodyguards.
Bodyguards.
Something like that.
Bodyguards.
Semantics is my favorite game. However, I just wanted to make sure that with the rumblings of the current smugglers and all of that news, I just wanted to make sure that no one had stolen this while you were on your way. So, be safe. And if you bring the plague onto my ship, please don't bring the plague onto my ship. And then he just walks away, muttering something.
Question.
Answer.
Do people know how to wash their hands over here?
Some do. Some. The lizards are quite good about it, but being cold-blooded creatures that require moisture. They're quite, it's quite normal for them to be moist and want to wash their body anyway. Some humans, on the other hand, get really testy about asking them to wash their hands and clothes.
Well, that is stupid. That's how disease spreads in the first place.
He looks at Akira and he goes, and not to overreach with my request, but would you mind paddling out of the harbor?
Of course.
Thank you. I fear I may not be that strong, and
Don't worry about it. I'm used to it. I would paddle that because otherwise, most likely because he was inebriated.
As you break out of the harbor, you pass a couple of much larger ships whose crew seems to be confused seeing you row by.
I just wave. Hello. Oh shit. Almost dropped the paddle.
So we'll be using Meejo because his is the easiest to catch.
So, are we going to be going over that sea of blood?
No, we're just going to be heading northward for, I believe the journey should take all of a day and a half, and then I will be meeting up with some contemporaries who will be helping get me safely the rest of the way. There are fears that the land itself is bearing the disease. We've had to contract some outside help for this one.
I hate to
Beyond
say
yourselves.
it, but it sounds more like a curse.
Have you gotten an arcane view on it?
It very well could be. However,
Well, if it's a curse, there's either two ways to break it: some kind of ritual, or whoever bears the curse.
Yes, that's... For now, I am holding out hope that this is not a curse. For all we know, this could be the corpulent bubons, which are a very deadly disease. But it is treatable with time and proper precautions. We can at the very least take the mortality rate that they've currently been seeing of 75% and drop it down to maybe a quarter of that, or hopefully even decimate it.
75%. If that were to spread, that would be apocalyptic.
Yes,
For this entire nation.
that is why we have to meet up with the people we are, because the tribe is refusing to allow outsiders in anywhere near their land.
Well, I'm no stranger to medicine or dealing with plagues.
Well, if I need more, I will contact you in the time, but it was quite a work to get me permission to come help.
I see.
I am sorry I cannot request more of you, but the Archaeologist Guild also may have been a bit irate had I stolen... Well, they were mostly excited about Meejo to help them. Something about having a member of the Order seemed very exciting for the two remaining members.
Look at you being all popular, hey?
I'll do what I can, but I'm a war mage, not a... Well, I do consider myself a scholar, but my talents are magic-wise in destructive category.
Yes, which is quite why they're excited. Those flooded ruins tend to be a bit dangerous. A lot of souls that never got respite in there.
Well, they're paying. My services are available.
That seems to be the most reasonable take I've heard sometime. Oh, also, those explosions yesterday. I was told that you may have seen something similar in the past.
Kind of look over towards the other two. Should we be spreading this information?
I don't know. I wasn't there for it myself.
Joe just kind of like, he gives a look. He's like, I'll leave it up to you.
To be honest, I should be asking if I should be sharing my visions with anybody.
He immediately looks over and goes, I would not. If you're getting visions from your god, they may not wish them shared.
No, not visions from my god. My god does not give me visions, friend.
Interesting. You are a Flint. Your divinity is something of a conundrum.
Not entirely untrue, but also untrue at the same time. My situation is unique, but most others are perfectly normal and fine. Most of the tribes worship the twin mothers.
And your tribe did not?
No, my tribe does as well.
Oh. Well, when I'm not having to rack my brain over finding some justification for this, this plague, not for you. My apologies if it came off that way. I will have to sit and speak with you about, well, potentially getting more and more of your people's history written.
Growing's going to take a while, but how about I share some of our medical history?
Oh, yes, I am quite aware that your people have in the past given advice that has worked to alchemists and doctors.
Yes.
I believe the first time that we were advised to make a field hospital was in response to aiding a siege in your homeland.
Probably upon the outskirts. Not many have contacted my own tribe.
I'm not quite sure. I'm not familiar with the notes. It's not battlefield medicine is not my area of expertise.
But have you ever heard of vaccines?
He looks down at his notes and swipes through them and goes, introducing a virus to someone to make them immune to it?
Yes.
Yes, your people have... Well, you must be aware that the success rate is... without adequate intervention is not very high.
So you do have good notes then.
Well, I have been with the Order here for 40 years now. And they have only just now allowed me to start taking works like this without any oversight.
So then you must be aware of the clerical orders within the tribes, yes?
I've only been to your land for a short time. We were investigating this weird outbreak of... I'm not quite sure what it ended up being. My master brought me there, as your people had dealt with it before. It was this outbreak of a pox, it seemed to be. But it was leaving lasting issues such as people having constant pains and sores and other maladies that were not considered important enough to have an actual group dispatch to handle. But my master took it upon himself to find some form of relief and ended up grinding up multiple plants and finding the local mints.
Interesting.
Your people are quite interesting. It is just a shame that your old land didn't grow as much as it should have.
Are you aware that it was once a very fertile region?
Yes, the name for the fold comes from the fact that it was one of the first places where people began to fold their doughs. And now it is, well, known for being a land in which one's body will fold.
Yes, the other tribes do their best to keep people out. And to keep mine in.
Oh, and Joe, right?
Yeah.
You have experience with the Feywilds.
Something along those lines.
I may have to contact the three of you for support. I assume you're able to recognize when something is to us would be out of this world, but to you would be typical?
And maybe a Tuesday evening.
Good to know. I will keep correspondence to the best of my abilities, but I'm quite worried that this plague will be a very long and arduous time.
Yeah, that's how plagues work.
Or they sweep through within the matter of a month and half the population's dead.
That
My
too.
people... My people don't really suffer plagues anymore. We've been so long under siege so many times. We've built a strong immunity to most diseases.
That does seem, well, you are quite different. Being a Flynn, you are afforded some advantages.
None of the tribes are jealous of the Shakir's constitution.
As you're having this conversation, the sun begins to lazily slide below the horizon, its rays still illuminating the water with its ambers and ichors. In the distance, you spot a small island. This one seems to be covered in the decaying roots of a great tree that has fallen and thus began to rot some time ago. Despite the massive sea around you, it still holds firm as a bulwark against the eroding presence. Verthmore looks around at the party and goes, well, or would you all like to make camp for the night?
This is rather secluded. Chances are the undead T-Rex won't swim to try and fight me again. I did take its eye.
Undead T-Rex.
Oh, yes. Have you not come across it?
I have not. I'm quite interested in this story when... I have a feeling that I'm going to need to get a skald here to recount everything that we witness within the coming time. He takes over the row and very much gently pulls it ashore to the best of his ability. However, your gentle drift ashore is brought to a sudden halt mere inches aground. Looking over the boat's bow, you see the topsoil barely conceals a single massive root. Its width would put your average strongman to shame. It dwarfs even a Kier with its sheer size. And I will go ahead and place your guys' stuff on the island.
Oh, you see, that's your problem. Someone cut down a tree.
Tracing its limb, you see the entire island, if you can even call it that now, is a network of vines and roots, and the center is what appears at first to be a small plateau of clay, is actually the great stump of this once massive tree. As you walk ashore, the ground feels more like a soft coat of algae than it does soil.
What are the chances we come across more nasties?
Well, we are in a mystical swamp.
How about you stay on the boat for a second, while we take a peek?
Alright.
Make sure to scream if something comes after.
Oh, don't worry. I hopefully don't need any of that. You guys will all be right here. I would have placed the canoe, but I couldn't find a decent model for it.
You're so tiny.
Pocket of Kier.
Pocket of care.
Is that a Dondodon reference?
Akir just sits in my pocket like, yeah, well, I got something you don't got. What's that? Pocket Akir, go!
Proceeds
Oh,
to
no,
buzzsaw the
no.
person's face off.
This,
Get him in the eye! Get him in the eye!
This is suspiciously reminding me of something from the previous D&D. I jump and cast Thunderwave at level 2.
Oh, yes.
It's just my pet snake, guys.
You know, it all started when we ignored the fact that a bag of holding does not have breathable air.
Mistakes
I mean,
were
it
made.
does for 10 minutes.
Yeah, 10 minutes of oxygen. It's not that much. Wait, if you put water instead of a bag of holding and you have water breathing, would you still be able to breathe?
No, you'd
Eventually
eventually
the
run out of
water
air.
would lose oxygen,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Walking, you guys can't really see anything ashore that's out of place.
Is this nearby the like Plague Island?
Birthmore goes, we probably still have a few more hours of rowing until we make it. But without the sun, it'd be quite hard to navigate.
Well, if we're gonna be using this as a rest spot, I'll get what views I can. I'll start ritual cast and detect magic.
Birthmore gets out of the I guess canoe would be the wrong word, but it's also the right word. And as he does, he walks directly up to the stump of the tree, and he like begins excitedly running his hands around it, looking and like observing as if he's seen some great treasure.
Whoa, this tree! Guys, this tree!
Do I know anything about this tree?
I think this is a Hyotolian red. These trees are legendary. They don't stop growing. I've never seen one before. They're known to legends of the tribe say that these created the first mountains. They're very rare. They take so long to grow. And
And this one's been cut down.
He looks at it and he goes, it looks like it was torn off when the Great Wave destroyed much of Hyotolya. And he begins just counting the rings. 1, 2, 3. And he goes on for a couple of minutes. He goes, this tree was likely 2,000 years old.
Gracious.
I wonder how much of the local area would have flooded even higher had its roots not soaked it up. Well, this is quite a I just never thought I'd see one of these. They're so rare and so well sought after for their rarity. Many in Pyrania will often pay exorbitant prices for the wood from these, but without having an actual way to tell what the wood is, it's quite common for a redwood or a pine or a conifer to be passed off as a Hyotolian red's wood and merely stained the appropriate color.
Is it common for Pyrania to try and steal things from the land of Hyotolya?
Yes.
Has Pyrania ever had any interest in the fold of the Shahanisha?
Oh, several times. There's quite a lot of history of them attempting to expand and your people doing what they're best at. In
Killing
fact,
them.
yes. In fact, the Pyrania actually began to build their biggest forts shortly after realizing that a very strong castle is a very strong defense.
I doubt I could compare to my own tribes.
Perhaps.
But it seems like they're just training the other tribes to be better at sieging.
I'll have to see if my associates are aware of what's going on in the fold at this time. They're quite scared currently. Your people are quite intimidating for those who do not actively work and live amongst them. And then you said you were ritual casting detect magic.
That's correct.
The tree, the ground, everything seems to have some residual magic in it. It's even parts of the water shimmer.
Is it like flowing magic? Is it like it's still alive, kind of?
It seems like there's still some life in the tree and the local surroundings that aren't quite natural. And you can even see the tree network, or the network of the tree's roots with the magic. As it seems every inch of the ground has roots beneath it, and it even expands out into the water.
The magic not entirely natural, like it was like placed upon the tree
Yes.
as like a life support.
Yes, it seems like the magic is flowing through the roots.
Yeah, it looks like there's a life support magic keeping this tree stump alive, living through the roots mostly. It's probably catching up where photosynthesis can't help it.
Maybe,
Or maybe it's
the,
connecting with the other like algae and such.
maybe one of the tribes here is keeping it alive. These were religious monuments.
In that case, it'd probably be a bad idea to take any wood.
I feel like it'd be a bad idea to even make the fire then.
Well, he looks around and goes, the good news is I'm not seeing or hearing any mosquitoes, so a fire may not be necessary tonight.
Perhaps not. But I hope you like cold rations.
He reaches into his pocket and pulls out some hardtack, and he goes, I'm quite used to it. As he hops up onto the stump of the tree and sits down. And he pulls back out his notes, and he begins to diligently pore over them, occasionally crossing over or writing in the margins of his notebook. So, you are all free. I know Meejo has a tent, and I believe Joe has one as well.
I have an explorer's pack, which means I probably have a bedroll.
Yeah. Okay. And then I know after this, we need to start having you guys leave some stuff at the headquarters, because you'll probably have it, because rations and stuff exist. But you guys also did buy rations last session, I believe. Where?
Oh, yeah, I still have the mutant raptor skulls and meat.
Are you just gonna eat raw mutant meat?
No, I have rations, but I could try them. Actually, no, there's zombie meat. I was supposed to take that. I don't know why I kept that.
I feel like you meant to turn that in and we just didn't remove it from your inventory.
I probably did. Maybe not the skulls, though.
Yeah, the skulls you meant to keep. But so once it huddled inside your tents and your rolls, you feel the island's innate sway as every wave broken upon it lackadaisically sends minute tremors through the roots and the moss. To you, however, it is very gentle, much like a crib rocked by a slight breeze on a spring night.
Is there any like sticks nearby?
You see plenty of like driftwood and various debris.
I'm gonna whittle one down into a wooden spear and use it for spear fishing.
Roll survival.
All right.
You managed to make a spear or a stick with a tip. And then I would say survival again for spearfishing.
Alright. A 6.
You managed to scare almost every fish away from you as you're wading around in the water.
Well, I guess I'll go to the other side and attempt over there.
Go ahead and roll survival again.
It's the
I'm
other
over here.
side. The fish has a spear. Spears fishes, Joe.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. This isn't spear fishing. This is fish spearing.
Oh my god. What the fuck are these rolls today?
I'll refresh my tab, maybe.
Yeah, that's weird. I've not seen...
I had that bug happen last session I was running, where like it would only roll one thing constantly for one player, and I was just like, okay, refresh your tab and try again, and it fixed.
That's a thing.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, it's
sometimes.
definitely a fucking thing, because the moment that he refreshed... It's probably because of how the RNG seed for, like, the player is probably set based on something to do with your fucking tab.
Yeah.
Which is
All
why
right, I
I'm
rolled an
very
18 for
excited
this
to...
one.
You managed to catch 2 small fish. You're not quite sure what they are, as you're not from this area. But they look edible. They don't look anything disgusting, and you're pretty sure they're not poisonous.
Can I make a insight or survival check to see if I know if I could just eat them raw? Because I know some fish you can.
Sure.
13.
You think that you'd be fine to eat it raw, but you should probably cook it.
All right. Well, I got this pot here. Hey, Meejo, you got a little fire going on over here?
Oh yeah, I can start one.
Didn't we just
well,
say we were
but,
not doing that?
Oh, you make a little fire over there in like that little
I can
spot
make
there.
I can make a float fire if you need.
Yeah, just
It's
something
not
to warm
touching
up this
any of the
pot.
vents. Here, you'll bring up unseen servants to effectively like carry like a bit of like driftwood or something.
Okay. So you see
And-
a little bit of the driftwood begins to slowly levitate.
and light it at the tip.
It's
Are you making a fish soup?
yeah. You want some? And here, use my wooden spear. Go try catching some more fish if you want more. We can make this real hardy.
Okay. Let's see
I
here.
pass I pass him the really crude wooden spear.
13.
You managed to catch another small fish to add to the soup.
Yeah.
All right, throw it in the pot. You just start like cooking it all up. You want me to roll anything for this, or
I don't even
figure
know
my
what cooking
character's
would
made
be.
this? Most people don't usually roll anything.
Yeah, I was about to
for it, it's
say,
just-
we're not going to Pathfinder it up and say that we have to roll for cooking. You guys have a nice fish stew. While Verthmore sits atop the tree and munches on his hardtack while vigorously note writing and rewriting notes.
So, do you think that Mr. Note Taker over here is actually writing anything of value about this tree stump?
Maybe. Maybe not. Some people do their own personal things for their own reasons.
So, why do you guys think this tree is here? Like, they said religious reasons, but
It could be that they adopted it as a sacred thing because it's rare or something else.
it could be cursing the people nearby.
It could be. But given how peaceful it is here, and the fish obviously doesn't look diseased.
They don't taste
Maybe
diseased,
not.
at least. Yeah.
As you're having this conversation, the sun has fully set now, and light has gotten very sparse.
Could could be being treated as a wave breaker for nearby islands.
Could be true.
I mean, there is magic everywhere here.
So what happens if we stab the tree?
Probably bad things. Maybe nothing.
Well, the other half the tree is up there. He like points past. Like,
Yes.
well, if it has a spell keeping it alive, we figure out how to lift up that giant chunk of a tree and put it back on the stump. Think it'll fix whatever is going on here?
Maybe. Maybe not. I've
I
seen
don't-
mages or druids heal things before.
I don't know if I'm able to lift something as heavy as that.
I
The
don't know if I could either.
the trunk
It's a
is
whole tree.
massive.
Well, what if we take a twig and we put it in the spot of the stump? Will it connect and then just grow back?
Could not. You're asking me, a paladin. I'm not a druid, my friend.
I don't know anything about trees. It's a tree.
No, be a
I see like
druid's
100 a
area of
day.
expertise. I say we leave it as is for now. And if we ever get a chance to come back here with enough people, maybe we do try and heal it.
All right. So everyone gets full rest. And as dawn's light creeps across the land, you all have a nice, relaxing wake up. And you see that Verthmore is once again woke up before you, and he's still sitting with his notebook on his lap. But instead of vigorously taking notes, he's looking out towards the sea.
Aren't we supposed to be helping a village or something?
Yes.
But it was a long journey to get here in the first place.
Yeah. We've been
And who
at
was
this tree stump
rowing
for a
the
while.
entire time?
Meejo?
Me.
Oh. Well, I pull out my notebook, like, well, I drew this picture of a goblin in a top hat.
What?
That's what you
Well,
were doing that entire time.
Of course. Gotta keep the creative spirit going.
Verthmore yells over and goes, is Algae supposed to move? Like, walk?
Like, what type of walk are we talking here? I like look off in the distance.
He points to the
Could be
shore.
algae creepers, which are these things that will attack you.
He points
Now,
off
if it-
to the shore, to your guys' east, and just as Akir said, you see one literally walking to shore.
Oh god, I hope he's not crip walking.
I don't
Well, I
have
mean,
NWA in the playlist.
I'd say we probably just best leave.
It kind of like hunches over and places its hands on one of the tree roots.
Oh.
Just let it do its thing. I mean, it'll probably go away on its own.
Blackmore, why don't you get down here and how about we get on the boat?
Okay, one second. I have to grab my bag. And as he turns to do this, the entire stump starts to move. Roll initiative, boys.
Oh dear.
Well, it's time to fight a tree. You gotta put the counter up.
Beautiful.
Oh dear lord. I don't know why those are still in the turn order.
I got a 3.
Hold up, I gotta pull up a specific thing real quick.
You think these might be guardians? Should we just leave them alone and go?
I'm thinking they're not going to be giving us a choice here very soon.
That
Well-
one,
Trouble for this.
It's a giant
So-
tree stump.
it
You
goes.
guys
guys
come to
fire
life?
spells?
I've got plenty, but
I got just the spell.
Aren't big.
Okay, well, looks like we're going to be burning through them, pun intended.
But
Might be collateral.
oh, that's
No
why.
collateral. We have a job to do.
Does this thing not have a modifier to initiative? No, it doesn't. Sweet. Oh, not sweet. So, you see that the tree has, like, it's starting to shake. And Verthmore falls flat on his ass on top of the stump. And let me move. I don't know why I have to
First
manually...
more, get out of there!
I'm trying! It's really hard to move when the ground's moving.
Okay, so we need to kill that thing now while it's controlling the tree stump. Might
like
be
a
able
plan
to
to
stop
me.
the stump.
All right, is this regular terrain or difficult terrain?
It's difficult terrain.
All right, so I'm gonna move right on here, and I'm gonna cast Fireball on this guy. Let me see. Double check to make sure I can actually cast it. What's the range? 150 feet? Yeah, he's close enough.
All right, do it.
All right, I cast
DC
Fireball.
14. Let me go ahead.
I'll
Find the
cast
sheet
it
for this
right
thing.
here.
Pop the sheet out because I'm using it for a second. So it's a dex save.
Yep, and if they succeed, they take half of it.
Succeeded.
All right. They take
so
half,
that's
36.
36. One sec, I have to pull up a fucking calculator.
It's just 18.
That would be 18.
Unless they have any, like, resistances or anything.
Or weaknesses.
You hear a very brief grunt.
Well, that's everything I can do. Oh wait, no, I got one more thing under my belt that I can do. Let's see. Where
You
was
hear
it
a
under?
brief grunt, and then you see, like, this thin sheet of steam come off of it.
Did it look effective?
There is one more thing I can do here. It is... I'm trying to find it. It's been a hot minute since I looked at this. And then you said with what's your rolling with Bardic Inspiration again? It was you have to give it like in advance.
Yeah, you give it to someone. You don't just like go, oh, I use Bardic Inspiration when someone rolls.
Oh, it has to be done. You just gotta do it in advance, basically, right?
Yeah, it's a bonus action. That's how it is in the. Oh God, sorry, my eyes. That's how it is in the manual.
All right, I'm gonna give. Who's next? Meejo, I'm giving you Bardic Inspiration. So I'll reduce my Bardic Inspiration dice by 1, and that's the end of my turn.
All right. Next up is Meejo's turn. And it's Meejo's turn.
Yeah, I'm looking through my options right now. I think, rather than a big fire, capitalize on that, dex save of its flat roll. So this is what I want to cast. It's going to be a higher level, probably second.
I don't know if you're in range for this. You have
Yeah,
to move
that's
forward a little bit.
that's the thing. I've got to move closer for it. It's a 30-foot line, so
Be covered in acid. Oh.
it's just out of range. It's like, well, I'll just use another option. Here. I'll just slap down a flaming sphere right next to it. How are we gonna draw it?
Draw the sphere.
The sphere.
Does the sphere hurt?
Yes. Hurts it.
Any creature that ends its turn within 5 feet must make a dex saving throw. So I have to roll for this.
Get out of here, you dang manipulating algae.
So the tree shakes and sputters, and some of the roots have begun to move as the island slowly starts to pull apart, but it still seems to be stuck in the ground.
I was attacking this guy.
Yeah.
That's what's happening.
Oh no, wait. Oh, are you moving the spear to ram into him?
Yeah. It did least amount of damage possible, but it was.
Okay. You see another, like, just more steam fly off of its body from where you hit it. It doesn't seem to really care that you're burning parts of it. It seems to not even really be in pain.
Doesn't seem to care about fire, folks.
I feel like we should have remembered this from the last time we fought it.
You guys did find that fire was not very effective. And it's difficult
It's too far
terrain,
away to do anything else.
so it can only move this far. And I don't know why Akir has 2 turns on the board.
Because I'm just that great.
No. It takes its step towards Meejo, with more of the area around it begins to start catching fire as it becomes Akir's turn.
So Akira, seeing this guy struggling, is going to try and get up to him.
Roll athletics.
Alrighty.
11.
Damn.
You manage to climb onto the stump, but as soon as you get up there, you pretty much immediately fall onto your face. And the tree is violently thrashing around, trying to uproot itself. You still have your bonus action if there's anything you'd like to do with it.
How much movement? Did I use all my movement?
How far did you only moved? You still have 5 feet of movement left.
Okay, so I can't get back up.
No.
Bonus action. Do I even have any bonus actions that I could do? Currently, no. No, it'll be my turn.
Next up is Joe's turn again.
All right. Let's see. My next spell I'm gonna do. This one's a classic, a very hood classic even. I'm gonna cast Eldritch Blast and blast this guy. Let's see.
Isn't there a roll with Eldritch Blast, or is it just for the 2 hit?
I think it's just a 2-hit thing.
Wait,
And what was it? You get what's up?
Did it?
2 beams
it
at
did
5th
its
level,
turn right
so-
there, didn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so it'd get another. Dex
Yeah,
save
I already.
roll for that flaming sphere.
Yeah, I already addressed it. The area around it started to catch on fire, and that's when I said it doesn't seem like that fire is really affecting it.
All right, the first blast misses, but the second one hits for 4 damage.
You blast about a golf ball sized chunk out of one of its arms, and it looks down momentarily and starts grumbling as it stares directly at you. And it's Meejo's turn. Or wait, are you gonna do anything with your bonus action?
Fire.
For the remainder of my turn, I'm just gonna be like, hey, Meejo, I think it's gonna do that thing where it paralyzes us again. You probably want to step back a little bit.
Yeah. I don't think fire is the way to go on this one, so that one just
Lightning?
winks it out.
Not gonna lie, you two. I think we need to get off this island before the tree wakes up.
Culture sucks. Alright. Magic missile it is. What level is your what die type is your bardic inspiration, Joe?
1d8.
I'll add that 1d8 to extra spell damage, if you allow it, because that's a like optional rule in the
Yeah,
Tasha's.
I'm fine with that.
Oh, it's extra damage. So that's not 9 damage, undodgeable towards this thing as I bring out some little magic darts, look like little comets in the sky.
Meejo does a little Fantasia snap and a wave of his wand as these tiny little arcane darts slam. Each only seems to take about an inch or so out of the creature, but you manage to punch a hole directly through its shoulder, and you can see that it's quite injured and unhappy.
Wait, Ryan, did you roll your second beam for Eldritch Blast?
Yes.
Yeah, I did. The second
The
one.
first
hit.
one missed.
Oh, I see. Okay. Great. And I'm gonna get some distance. And that's my turn.
Another roll for this. Wow, I'm rolling awful. The tree continues to thrash and tear roots out of the ground. One of the roots comes free, and it attempts to swipe at Akir on top of it. It misses. Okay, is it just me or have I rolled all 7s and 6s? No, I
Oh,
rolled
one of them
18.
has a -1. The other one has a +1.
I'm just saying,
It's all turned into 7.
the real shit rolls are... I love roll 20.
Roll 20, my beloved. Please let us roll high.
It attempts to swipe at Akir, but it can't quite bend its great roots that way, and it instead swipes directly over your and Verthmore's head. As the Aldroid continues to slowly creep towards you. And it's Akir's turn.
Here's gonna spend half movement to get up.
Alright.
Come on, we need to get off this thing now.
Yeah, I agree. Are you just gonna try and yank him off?
I'm going to use my action to pick him up. And then spend the rest of my movement to jump as far as I can.
I don't remember
From
how the-
elevation, I'm hoping I'll get some distance.
I'll say you're like a good. It's like a good 10 feet up. So I would say reasonably you should be able to jump out 15 feet.
Okay.
With an acrobatics check because you are jumping off a moving thing.
Sure, I can't do an athletics.
I feel like either would be reasonable.
I mean, this is more so I'm not being a perfectionist. I'm being brisk about it.
Yeah. So I guess athletics. I'd be fine with either.
All right, I'm gonna try and do this jump. Hopefully, I land well. Damn, I am not getting good rolls either.
I mean, you jump and your footing immediately slides out from underneath you, but you manage to keep from slamming Berthmore into the ground as you're both laying there, and he's like, "Thank you. I really,
Oh,
I don't know what's happening right now."
What's happening is we need to get you to the boat and us on the boat and get the hell out of here before that tree wakes up.
I don't even know how a tree wakes up.
Fey magic.
Next up is Joe again.
See here, I have the greatest spell known to man.
Shatter.
Of course. I alone am the one who shatters. Make me that
Personally, I'm
DC
a fan
14
of
check.
lightning storm.
It's a con check.
It is a con save, yeah. Half as much if they succeed. They succeed. Wait, that shouldn't be a 13. That should be higher.
Is it?
Because what's the spell DC? It should be 14.
Yeah, it is. It is on my screen.
Yeah, it is on
Oh.
my screen. It's just the spell save DC that you put for the description and doesn't match the
Yeah, that's
the thing you
it
put in
is.
the chat.
Boy, I sure do love Roll20.
I sure do love all these automated systems. If
That don't
only they
work.
worked.
I learned
I believe-
today that Roll20 can glitch out and give you the same roll. So you have to refresh the tab.
I sure do
didn't
love
know that.
Roll20. Roll20, please sponsor my streams so I don't have to fucking pay to upload my own maps.
Roll20, it'd be really cool if you just made it so that your shit worked. It'd be really cool.
Foundry.
Actually.
Or that our
Anyways.
information wasn't leaked.
Are we doing equal to and lower as a fail, or are we doing equal to and higher as succeed?
Equal to and higher as succeed.
Okay.
Which are what
Yeah,
would
so
you...
they take 7 damage.
Yep.
Unless they're weak to lightning.
So, you what's the radius of shatter? I forget. 10-foot
The
sphere.
radius? Yeah.
Let me do the measure.
This big.
So you. What instrument does Joe have?
I use a hurdy-gurdy.
Joe riffs out the meanest lick on the hurdy-gurdy as an ear-splitting crack blows chunks of the ground and some of the roots, even hitting the tree. However, the monster seems to almost be fine. The thunderous strike only blows a little bit off of its body, as it still stares directly at Joe. Now it might be even angrier about the hurdy-gurdy more so than all of the damage.
Oh, that was the best lick ever.
Do you want to use your bonus action? Because you still have 3 bardic inspiration.
I believe cutting words is a reaction, so I'm just gonna save them for that.
Okay. Next up is Meejo.
Are we bouncing off this island, or
We should get out of here.
That is the hope.
where's the boat?
Oh, let me do a stand-in for the boat real quick. We'll just. Their boat. I know. I'm
I was
an
hoping
artiste.
for like a poor PNG of some kind of horse.
In this world, we ride boats and sail the seas on horses. All right,
Exactly.
I'll give it another magic miss.
Quickly, get on the horse, everybody.
Oh wait, this one's better.
I'll give it
Oh, I
another
love
magic missile as I hop on the boat.
All right. Cast the missile.
I'll get set to get on the boat, obviously, because
Oh right, it's rough terrain, so y'all will probably take another turn to get to it.
Yep.
I mean, I could probably dash onto it.
What is that? 9
another
damage?
9 points of damage to it.
You know, 9 damage doesn't sound that crazy, but you guys are level 6, right? Level 5, level 6, if
Yeah.
I remember right. That's actually solid to be able to just do that every turn basically for free.
where fire doesn't help, the magic missile provides.
All right. Well. Oh no. The great stump shudders and shakes free. Several of its roots snap into splinters. It rises up out of the ground, towering at least 5 feet over you.
Well,
And
that's
it-
one big stump.
It takes one giant swing at the party with one of its gigantic roots.
Now, how thick are we talking this root is? Are we talking like a good old-fashioned...
We're talking it's 6 feet in diameter.
That's one thick root. Let me get those measurements on that 6 foot long root.
It's swiping the root at everyone.
Oh, it's doing like a this.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of hot.
It's like the abominations of Valkyrie.
Oh my. The last time I saw someone swing a root that big, I was stuck in a brothel.
So
If that's attack against everyone's AC, that hits me.
that hits
misses
Meejo,
me.
misses Joe, misses.
Definitely misses Akir.
It hits Meejo and Verthmore, and then
Question: Could Akir maybe take some of the damage that Worthmore is taking to like try and like shield him a little bit?
you can do a strength check to try and block it for him.
Okay. Just a straight up strength check.
Yes. If
Is
you would...
the DC gonna be what the roll is?
No, this thing is massive. Essentially, I mean, 16 is still a good roll. So the damage on this, we'll go. I'll go ahead and say it got chopped. Remove a quarter for Meejo and him.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that so much.
No problem.
Oh, those rolls are so lucky.
So, am I just taking 9 damage then?
You're taking 9 damage. Meejo's taking 9 damage, and Verthmore's taking 9 damage.
Okay.
And instead of everyone being sent flying, you're all only pushed back about 5 feet. The Aljoid sees this, and it's still just out of range, and it still slowly lumbers its way towards you. The island is starting to. It's starting to kind of, every little wave broke against it is starting to now take off pieces of the algae that make up the topsoil. And now it's Akir's turn.
Okay. On the boat now. And Akir is going to go. Let's see here. How far can I move? Normally rough terrain, so I only got like. Oh, I could get on the boat. Akir is actually going to hop on the boat. I mean the horse. Can I hold an action?
Yes.
I'm going to hold an action to be prepared for once everybody is on the boat to take off.
All right. Next up is Joe's turn.
All right. I do a hood classic thing. Meejo the guy. I do that cool thing where I get on the fucking boat and I wait. And I also get ready to help out with getting this shit off the island.
Hit the
After
thing as
seeing a
much
giant
as you
tree.
can.
That tree's got a lot of girth!
Verthmore sprints and dives into the boat, pretty much directly into Akir's sternum. Leaving just Meejo on the shore.
He just gets a little telekinetic hand to like push him as he like runs across this route and jumps in the boat. Like reaches over, like shoves the shore with his staff.
All right,
We gotta get going.
everyone roll.
We gotta get out of here, it's gonna be a girthquake!
Earthquake, I hate that.
My feeble arms!
Yes!
My feeble arms! I got a splinter! Meejo, take the raft!
Meanwhile, Akir, kick, boat, zoom.
You all very quickly, with the combined strength of Akir, row away. As
There's a reason he paddles.
As Meejo's slapping his staff into the water, attempting to contribute, mostly, the tree begins to slowly lumber towards you, but both the abomination and the tree are no match for a vehicle. And as you see the tree attempt to walk on its roots, the island begins to just disintegrate with the passing tides. Verthmore just looks horrified and just goes, ugh.
So that was new.
Yeah,
Didn't know they could do that.
I didn't know that there were monsters made of algae in these lands.
Oh, yes.
Didn't know that they can control larger plant life.
Yep.
It had a lot of girth.
I also didn't know that I could shoulder check it back.
I'm sorry, How... Do we have any idea why it didn't attack us when we first appeared?
Probably because it wasn't awake. Or the algae monster probably woke it up. Made it
Again,
angry.
it could have been Fey magic. It could have rose it to life.
It looks like...
I don't know if it was Fey magic.
Do you think the algae monsters are... He pulls out his notebook and he goes, what if they get dormant at night? They are made of an algae.
Maybe. I mean, like...
Have you been attacked by one at night, or has it only been during the days?
At night?
I mean, we've been attacked by them during the night.
Yeah.
Maybe they're less...
I
like,
wonder
no.
if maybe...
You ever see algae on a tree stump?
Yes.
It's like the same thing. Yeah, it's just the way of nature, you know? It's just going to consume the remaining tree plant.
Maybe it was...
Just on a bigger scale.
not there beforehand?
Maybe, mayhaps. Well, this...
I mean,
I'll have to...
it could also be that... perhaps we did something to upset it.
Sorry, I just wanted to know if there was anything... I fear that these monsters may be somewhat common, as I've heard of something similar, but people said it was some kind of grass man?
Oh, there's grass ones too.
Oh, that's... Fantastic's not the right
Sorry.
word. But, thank you for your quick thinking. Everyone add 500 XP for that.
500!
Oh boy, 500 XP. Oh, fuck math.
18,750.
So as...
Wait, is that what we should all be? Because I'm at 350.
I have a little more than everyone, but I do remember we ended up gaining XP for different reasons throughout this.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so I should be a little bit behind then.
Verthmore kind of just sits there for a little bit, reading over his notes before he closes his notebook and goes, well, the good news is we should be coming upon the shore here soon.
And the other good news is nobody got too badly hurt.
Oh, yes, Meejo, how are you? Do you need any salves or tonics? I almost forgot.
I mean, I could take a good bandage or so. You got a bit of a big bruise on this side.
He reaches into his robes and he pulls out a little pack of cloth that's got some like green, sticky, sappy material on it. He goes, where do you need this placed?
Just raise up his little robe a little bit and reveal some like grayish, pale looking bruised skin. Right there.
He places it on and roll 1d20.
1d20. 13.
Restore 13 health. And you pretty
That's-
much instantly feel better.
Woo!
Oh, thank...
It's the spot.
Yeah, thank... Ooh. I was worried for a second. Sometimes magical creatures don't respond too well to typical medicine, but it seems to have worked on you, thankfully.
Let you know if there's any side effects.
Oh, please do. We don't... Genasi are not common, and we don't usually get to see how your body will react to our salves. But if you would allow me to take back over rowing, we should be close. I will make sure to warn others of the tree that will now be roaming the waters.
If it can't swim.
I will be interested to see how this turns out. And sure enough, it does not take long for him to start rowing along this, parallel to this shoreline. Let me go ahead and swipe to this part of my notes, because this is like 8 pages in. So as you're drifting along the bank of a small piece of the archipelago, you begin to see small wisps of smoke coming from further down the bank, wafting out to pollute the heavens of Hiltolia. As you get closer to the smoke, you see a recently cleared shore coming into your view, dotted with a small circle of tents and fires. Let me go ahead and... hold up. Let me fix this because I forgot to download this map.
I hope everybody got their shots before coming here.
One second. Let me just get this map on screen real quick.
Oh, at how much XP do we need to level up next? Or
Or
at what amount of XP? Because I actually don't know.
don't have the table memorized.
Neither do I.
Give it a moment. The map is uploading. There we go. I need to put this on the
Here you go.
map layer. Let me just they're not there.
Next level is... Wait. Oh, no. Hold up. Here it is. The correct one. I don't know what that's supposed to be.
That's for like encounters and such.
What?
Level 7's 23,000.
All right.
Yeah, you guys aren't too far off. And you will be getting a lot of experience from the dungeon with the archaeologists. But the small circle of tents and fires, the collection appears metly and disorganized until you notice that all of them seem to have a small symbol, a patch on the tent. It is a staff with serpents coiled around it above a lit pyre. And as you come ashore, Verthmore turns to you and goes, "Please try to play nice for now." As a man wearing a tabard with the exact same insignia begins to walk up to you. Halt! This land is quarantined. Who goes there?
Me.
Me?
Him.
Verthmore goes, I'm sorry about my bodyguards. I am Verthmore II of the Blue Moon. These men are my bodyguards here to defend me while we made our trek through the glorious nature. The guard regards all of you, and he goes, "They weren't permitted to enter. Who are you?" As he brushes past Verthmore and walks directly up to the group.
Well,
My
Iskander?
name?
Yes.
Who the hell is Iskander?
What?
Who is Iskander?
Oh, wait.
You've been
Wait,
calling
what
me
was the
that
character's name
several
again?
times.
Yeah, I keep forgetting because it's been like too long. There's like these gaps in my memory or something. It's like time freezes for numerous months on end. I don't understand. It's like some
It's-
deeper.
It's almost
Outside
like we all had
technological
plans for the
event.
holidays.
It's like there's this thing in another universe. It's called Christmas, New Year's. What is this? Drinking? It's just
Oh, you
so
mean free
much.
today? Got it.
It's like time stops for a moment. I just keep getting this mixed up. It's like such a huge gap of time.
My name is Akir.
All right. I got this.
My name is Akir, and I am a paladin.
Oh,
Yes, I am remembering now.
you're... Okay, so you should be fine to be here then? Wait. He places a hand on the sword's hilt, or the hilt of his sword. Paladin of which god?
No god that you would know.
He doesn't quite relax, but he moves his hand onto his hip instead of on the hilt, and he goes, I guess that's a good enough answer. So we have a paladin, a half-human, and
Hello, I'm Meejo, Mage of the Black.
Did your order request you to be here?
In a
Yes.
manner of speaking, I'm released to train on my own by their order.
And you found yourself traveling with a... Huh. Well, you are permitted in the camp for a short time. Pyre protect you. This land is diseased, and you will have to leave before nightfall.
I am curious. Has this disease not affected any paladins?
Well, paladins are known for their ability to resist diseases, and the only paladin we have here has no wish to help. He's only here to observe.
Here to observe, you say.
Yes, Verthmore goes, Jerry, you should probably head back to your post. The Lord's probably not happy that he hasn't seen you doing your usual trek. And with that, the guard, stiffens up and walks, and he's like, correct, right. And starts walking back to pace circles around the tent. He goes, all right.
Do explain there's something.
Pyrania are the people who requested aid for this tribe.
Pyrania.
Yes.
Don't they have extreme hatred for the lizardmen?
Not... Their monks are here. They have an order of Hospitlars, which is who I am currently working with. The tribe already refused to leave their city, but they are now... Pyrania is now holding a quarantine outside of it to make sure that it doesn't spread.
I'm still confused at why they have so much interest here. Did they not have a war with them recently?
The Hospitlars are different. The paladin here is... he is one of the named lords. I will not be in this camp for more than a few hours. You are free to head home. He pulls into his pocket and fishes out 50 gold coins. I'm sorry for the pittance, but this is what we agreed upon. Should I find out how to cure this, I will make sure to spread the news.
I have a question for you. Could I perhaps look around myself?
You may, but I would not poke around too much. You see various people milling about the camp that are all staring at Akir and Meejo. They're quite not welcoming of outsiders.
I'm aware of this, but I'm curious. Why the paladin himself isn't looking upon the people?
Oh, the politics.
A heretic?
Given the question, I think it might have to do with his god.
The
Could be.
paladins are to enforce order and law.
Mm.
They're here to make sure that the laws are followed when the hospitallers do their work. They're not here to treat. I would strongly recommend the three of you head out before you can accidentally offend them.
I merely wish to see the disease. Surely there is no offense there.
You will have to get the paladin's approval, and I waited for weeks before he even
Look, man.
entertained the idea.
I put my hand on Akir's shoulder and like, Akir, I'm not trying to catch some eldritch disease.
I will advocate for having some outside help. Given what we have already witnessed, it should take some time, but they may permit it.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, I highly caution staying here and recommend not giving them a reason to try and brand you escaped slaves.
I just like look at you guys and I'm like, hey guys. Just I guess stay close to me. And we should be fine.
They know what a that he looks back at the camp and he goes, Joe. They know how to spot a half-human better than they know how to spot an elf.
That's real sad.
But I must go meet the paladin.
All right.
And with
We
that,
wish
he
you the
walks
best of luck.
briskly into the tent. And the guard takes up post in front of it.
All right, you two. How about we hop upon the boat then?
Yeah, let's get out of here.
We're permitted to be, what, a day or so?
Yes, a
Not
day.
comfortably, I imagine. I could send Strudel out, I suppose.
That'd be an idea, but I have another one. How about we hop on the boat and talk?
Sure.
Where's the horse? We're drowning.
I'm getting the horse.
There's no horse under my legs.
Oh, thank goodness.
Oh, thank goodness, there's a horse to ride. I mean, sail.
No, miss your hands, no!
Oh no.
Send him to the back.
Alright. With that, you guys slowly sail off back towards the main city.
No, we don't.
Oh, you're just sitting in the boat?
Yeah, we're just
I
I'm
think
going
we
to
need to
start
run
sailing, but as soon as we're off a little bit to the horizon, Akir's going to shift away. So perhaps we can't get a good look at that camp, but perhaps we could go maybe around and see for ourselves.
Yeah, let's go look.
I'm sure
Something
it's great.
suspicious about this whole thing, and I do not like the fact that the Pyranians have a hand in it.
This is a very paranoid first thought that came to me very fast. It's an uneducated opinion, but I've got a good feeling this might be an advanced enemy base for that invasion thought of yours.
I was thinking
Oh,
less
it
an
definitely
enemy
is.
base and more a testing ground.
It's definitely a testing ground. For these Blue Moon people.
Maybe not the Blue Moon, but the Pyranians themselves in this case.
Just like, gives him a look, he's just like, and you refuse to believe that the Blue Moon has a pretty good hand in this.
I refuse to believe the man we just dropped off has a hand in the testing.
I
At
don't.
least for now.
We caught a guy
But-
red-handed testing on Draugr, so I mean, anything's possible here.
Testing on Draugr. What's a Draugr?
It's like a dead guy. He looks like beef jerky.
Ooh, I see.
Yeah. You trap the soul in the corpse of the person, and they're pretty much just kind of stuck there.
So it was on their experimentation in a tower. Now they
Yep.
have a whole help camp for the
Yep.
disease. The paladin has no interest in helping people when I'm sure he could.
Yep. You see?
This
Starting
is
to put two and two
absolutely
together.
a testing ground for war.
They're gonna probably unleash this disease onto the city.
So we have one of two options. Remember how I mentioned my people make vaccines?
Yes.
I neglected to say... I can't even think with how loud that is.
Sorry, I fixed it.
I will neglected to say we've been refining our methods over time. They probably have outdated information. My people are very prolific with medicines because we've been under siege for so long. So, by that knowledge, I have an inkling and idea to how to make better vaccines.
Go on.
Might be worthwhile to get some samples and see if we can help some of the people. Or perhaps even, I say, rescue somebody?
Sounds like a plan to me.
But we're going to have to get around and somehow do this stealthily, which I don't know, need to explain to you. I'm not very stealthy.
I mean, I got experience hunting. One
This
of my
is
big
going to be
things.
risky, but I think we can do it, just barely.
Oh, actually, I am good at still. Forgot I had that proficiency.
We're
We
going
can
to
like
find
3
a
feet
place
tall.
where we're not on this island. Or at least a place where it's very lowly observed.
We can come back at nightfall and sneak on in.
I was thinking of that too. In the meantime, how about we pretend we're just fishing about for supplies? Should a ship come around?
Yeah, let's leave eyesight of them. Go around the long ways and then take a roundabout path.
Well, what do you think I'm rolling for right now?
Oh, I thought we were just going in circles.
No,
I say
I'm
as like I
rolling-
noticed we're far, far away from where we were before.
Seriously?
I
You're
wasn't
fucking
looking
with
up.
me, aren't you?
No, I was still drawing the goblin with the top hat. I show him the picture again, both more details.
Oh, very nice. I'll put it on my fridge when I get home.
What's a refrigerator?
I don't know. It's just a saying I've heard before from the north.
Oh,
All right. That's end of session because I don't have this section ready yet.
I think first things first, we should probably let Strudel scout, see what it sees.
Absolutely agree.
Inconspicuous little bird.
No, eventually someone's
See?
going to catch on to your familiar.
Sees prison camp.
Oh God.
We don't know if it can spread onto animals or not.
No, we don't. But we know there's one person who seems to hopefully not be affected by it, and that would be me.
All right. Well, I need to head out. I'll be talking to y'all later. Give me 2 weeks to plan this next session,
All right.
Okay.
and then I'll let y'all know. We'll probably do it again on a Sunday or a Saturday, but let's try not to do it last thing at night because this schedule's a little bit better for all of us. It feels like.
Mm.
well,
What did you send in the chat? What is homie running away from with shaky screen?
It's the abomination from Valheim.
I didn't
Yeah,
even
it's
know
the
that was a
abomination,
thing.
remember?
It's a tree stump monster.
I don't play
Yeah.
Valheim. I didn't know this was a thing.
it's so sad.
I
It
never
looks
got
like-
far in Valheim.
I saw the big tree model and I was like, oh yeah, Aldroids have animate tree.
It's so sad. Play the sea shanty.
Okay.
I
Alexa.
think I got to the bog before I stopped.
I'll play us out with the sea shanty boys.
Thank you for this session. Thank you for playing with me.
Thank you for this session.
Thank for play.
Okay.